Geometry Case B by Jessica Casanis. What is its nominal rate of return and effective annual rate of return? To find this, I use formulas from our class, and nominal is 9% and effective annual rate of return is 9.31%. If the nominal required rate of return is 8%, what is the current value per share? Using the present value formula on Excel, I was able to find the value per share of $27.44 for January 1st, 1993. Now consider TECO's common stock value line estimates TECO's 5-year dividend growth rate to be 6%. Assume that TECO's stock trade on January 1st, 1992 for $22.26. Assume for now that the 6% growth rate is expected to continue indefinitely. So what is TECO's expected rate of return at the beginning of 1992? The rate of return is calculated by dividing by the dividend divided by the stock price and then adding the growth rate. So that would be 14.09%. What was the expected dividend yield and expected capital gains yield on January 1st, 1992? Expected dividend yield was 8.09% and capital gains yield was 6%. Suppose you believe that TECO's 6% dividend growth rate will only hold 5 years. After that, the dividend growth rate will return to TECO's historical 10-year average of 7.5%. First, using an Excel table, I figured out the dividends. Then to find what is the required rate of return is 13.5%. Using the formula shown, I was able to find the present value of the stock, which is $28.57. Was the expected stock price at the end of 1992. I was able to use that just like I found out the previous one, which was $30.62, and same with 3C. For the next year it was $32.85. What is the expected dividend yield, capital gains yield, and total return for 1992? To find the dividend yield, we took the dividend price divided by the stock price for 1992. That gave us 6.3%. Then we took the stock price for 1993, 30.62, divided it by the stock price for 1992, and then divided that all together by the stock price from 1992, giving us a 7.18% capital gains yield. When you add both those yields together, that gives you a total yield of 13.48. Using the Excel spreadsheet, I was able to calculate that the stock is lower than the answer in part A. I was able to find that it was 19.76, which is lower than the 28.57. TECO's stock price was 22.26 at the beginning of 1992. Using the growth rates given in the introduction to this question, what's the stock's expected rate of return? Here we are able to plug in the numbers, and the expected rate of return is 18.56%. Based on this information provided in value line tables, is assumed 6% growth rate reasonable. What has been the trend? Since the trend has been between 6.25% and 7.15%, the growth rate of 6% is just right. It's just a little below. It is hard to make an assumption because the numbers are so close. So in this case, I would say this is not a sustainable growth rate for the long run.